Sometimes you don't try, I just
Welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today I'm very excited to be joined by Dave Wakeling of the English Beat, who's about to play a sold-out show here in New Hope, Pennsylvania. Dave, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the song we're working on today.
The lyrics were about not knowing about the transition from boyhood to manhood. You looked like you were a man and people talked to you as though you were, but you didn't really feel like you were, especially if it was a woman who was talking to you. But you had to act like you could, because you could not grow a beard and moustache as good as that, but you could start one. And people talked to you like you were a grown-up and didn't feel like one. So it was about walking into the dark, really. And I like it because, in a way, it's not a song about anything. It's about not knowing. You know you don't know. You're not sure what it is.
It has a pretty advanced rhythm pattern to it. Is there kind of a story to how you kind of, maybe you were influenced by certain guitar players?
John Martin played in the Dad Gad tuning of ancient blues players, which is what I was trying to get when I got this Dad Ard tuning, but I just messed up and tuned the G up to an A. So which is my advice to all young players: don't tune your G string up to an A, you know. And but I did, and I tried playing John Martin songs, and it nearly worked, but not quite. May you never someone to didn't quite work. Nearly, but that was because I made up my own tuning.
Yeah.
So then I just started looking around for other things. I did write one other song that was on the first Beat record. Click, 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 which is 5 clicks, which means the next one
Gotcha.
is a bullet.
Yep.
And which, although that sounded like a sort of blues for bouzouki,
Yeah.
what that rendition of it, I thought that sounded quite Greek.
Yeah.
And there's now one other song, so it really depends. You keep looking for extra chords that you might be able to make out of this slightly odd tuning. But we have Never Die on the new record. That's in this tuning as well. So about 3 or 4 songs have come out. We said we would never die. What did we know? Taken away from me now. How I miss you so. But no, I will never cry. I promised to just get the best out of life. I'll do it for me, I'll do it for you. So when I'm sick and tired, or when I'm up and wild, I'll know exactly what to do. I'll cast my gaze above, thank God for all that love. Then I thank God that I'm not. We said we would never die. Just rings forever, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah.
2 fingers, that you got a whole orchestra.
Your songwriting process changed over the time that you've been performing and recording.
No, I wish it
Still
had.
pick it up and do the same.
No, I wish it had. I have to feel something or see something or hear about something or read something that makes me either really happy or really mad. Those are the 2 things that start the process off. And then I start fuming and walking around in circles, muttering to myself, and then it starts rhyming. Is what seems to happen.
So the words come to you first?
Most often, the notion. And quite often, like the chorus, the hook line, what the song would be called, or the first bit of the verse and what it would be called, that tends to come first. And then I just say them over and over and over as like a mantra or something like that, and use that and figure out what key it's in from there. And then when I've got an idea of what the melody is, like the words normally suggest the melody, and when they do, then I have to run to the guitar and go, yeah, there it is, got it, yeah. No, that's too high. And then you have a lot of shock, because it might be great to sing loud on stage, but it's not as good to sing when you play it acoustically. And then you get whatever key it's nice to sing acoustically, and you go and sing it with the band, and it's all you can't hear it, so you have to pick the key up a tad, one or two steps sometimes for the band. You can't do that too much, otherwise the highest notes in the song now become painful. You just it's more like praying than singing.
Keep a good rhythm and sing at the same time. How do you cultivate that ability? What would you say? Do you have any advice for aspiring rhythm guitar players, singer-songwriters?
Well, I mean, I just put the vocal and put the guitar around the vocal, really. I suppose because I'm a songwriter or singer, maybe primarily, I just put the guitar around whatever. Trying to figure. I think my guitar parts came as an accompaniment to the vocal melody. Mainly because of me, the vocal melody came first, I suppose. But I mean, if it makes you dance, it's likely to make somebody else dance. Don't rush it. I would say that most people so want it to be right, they're up on the nose of the beat, and there's endless places on one that's still in time, and you want to be on the one where the melody is. I think that's one of the biggest problems when somebody's trying to play the guitar in time metronomically and sing legato with the melody. So you've got to take a leap of faith there. You know, that's what I find live is that when excited, people tend to firm up to the beat instead of being able to relax.
That swinging,
and you know, that's a hard thing to do. How do you keep it exciting and keep it relaxed, you know? You've got to keep your feet dancing and your shoulders down. How do you do that?
So keep moving.
Yeah, but certainly I would say, and look at the crowd as well, if you're lucky enough to have one. Look what they're doing, dance with them. You know, so who's the best dancer out of those 6 people in front of you? Start dancing with them and then play your guitar. You go, oh, look at that. Oh, it works. It's like, duh. So, you know, be careful not to reinvent the wheel. You know, E.M. Forster said, only connect, forget the rest. So there's that bit of a leap of faith, be in the moment, and if you're lucky enough to be playing instruments for other people's entertainment, then remember that you're a service industry. You're there to make them dance. And if you do, you can get away with more or less anything.
Do you have a favorite cover of or just of a beat tune?
I mean, your hero, Pete Townsend, doing Save It for Later has got to be. You can't really get much better than that, can it? Having met Eddie Vedder and him singing Save It for Later too is a treat and an honour. Elvis Costello doing Stand Down Margaret was brilliant. I suppose those would be the top triumvirate, but I mean anybody even listening to my song is a miracle, so what about somebody covering it or learning actually how I did it, because the ages on that video, I'm nearly getting it.
A quick little moment just to talk about your guitars. This is a Gibson?
It is a Gibson, and it's only a little poppies of a thing, but it sounds big. It's a big sound, and it's something to do with these wonderful ribbing, which you can't see.
Fantastic construction.
In black and white.
The Gibson.
For those listening in black and white. And I particularly liked it because there's no scratch plate, and so I could just play it the wrong way around, upside down, and it didn't look silly. It doesn't look silly, but you know, I would have had to send off and get the scratch plate put there and then change this and move this. So this was absolutely perfect for me, and it's a nice guitar. It's small, easy for use on the road really, but it's got a big sound, and it's amplified. A little pickup inside there is really quite good to do a TV show. plug it in, a bit of an echo.
Well, Dave, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And
what a pleasure. Thanks for teaching me that song.
The viewers in YouTube land.
I've been slashing around in the dark on that one for years. Well, never knew where I was until hello.
And now I'm going to head back and I'm going to teach you how to play Save It for Later. Thanks for watching, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today I'm very excited to break down a classic tune by Dave Wakeling and the English Beat entitled Save It for Later. Now for many of you, this might be an introduction to open string tune-ins and also a fantastic song for you to practice to build up your sense of rhythm. Let's get started. Okay, a close look at the fretboard, and we're getting started breaking down this very simple tune, which is basically just a 1-5-4 progression in the key of D. This means that if you looked at the D major scale, you would find that D was our first note, A is our fifth note, and G is our fourth note. So professional musicians will refer to this progression as a D1, A5, and G4. 1-5-4 progression. Okay, now that we understand the theory behind this song, it's time to get into our open tuning, which for the many musicians who have tried to cover this song in the past has been the source of a lot of confusion. So what we're actually tuning our guitar to, we have our E string tuned to a D. Our A string is normal. D string normal. The G string is tuned up to an A. The B string tuned down to an A. So we have two A strings now. And then our high E string is also tuned to D. So that is D, A, D, A, and also D, which apparently is a tuning that was very popular amongst the Velvet Underground. Alright, so this song features one chord progression all the way through, that 1-5-4 progression in the key of D. D major, A major, and G major. But because of the standard tuning, we're going to have to relearn our shapes. So, the way we're going to make our D major chord, either just open strings, or taking our first finger and putting it on the 5th fret of the A string, occasionally putting our third finger here on the G string, 7th fret. This will be our D major chord. Now for the A major chord, we're simply going to put our first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, occasionally putting our third finger here on the 4th fret of the G string. And then finally, our G major chord is just going to be a bar up on the 5th fret, covering everything. So, D major, A major, and G major. Okay, now that you have those basic chord forms down, I'm going to demonstrate very slowly what's being done across the progression in terms of the rhythm. Now, bear in mind that there's lots of room for variation in this. Basically what we have. Okay, just in that instance, I put in a couple of different variations on that second repeat. Basically what we have going on the D major chord, we're going to strum down, down, up, down, up. But on that first upstroke, I'm going to put my third finger on the 7th fret G string, like this. Down, down, up, down, up. By the end of that little pattern, I've taken my hand away and I'm just strumming the open strings. Down, down, up, down, up. For me, it sounds like I'm taking my hand away right after that upstroke where I've added that 7th fret G string. Down, down, up, down, up. That gives me time to transition to the next position, which will be our A major chord. It's going to sound like this. So there I'm just playing the 2nd fret D string, an upstroke with my 3rd finger added to the 4th fret G string, and then a downstroke just with the regular position, 1st finger on the 2nd fret D string. So we have add the 3rd finger, take it away. Okay, so far we have the D major chord playing down, down, up, down, up, to the A major chord, down, up, down, and now we're ready for our G major chord. This is where I hear the most variation going on. Okay, so moving into that G major chord, sometimes we're just going to play scratch, up, down, up. That's our first variation. Scratching the strings dead. I have the bar, but I'm not pushing yet. Scratch, up, down, up, before going back into the beginning. Now the other variation that I hear in the G chord is just an abbreviated version of that scratch, up, down, up. Here we're gonna go scratch, up, down, hitting those open strings on that last downstroke. Scratch, up, down. We put that in, we have down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, scratch, up, down. That works very well. Now, one last variation for the G major chord. Occasionally we're going to slide up from the first fret E string and try one of those two variations, either the abbreviated one or the full. Alright, now if you're putting in that little slide, it's going to sound like this. You gotta be very quick about it. And he kind of slides nice and slow up there. But the transition from here, you gotta be very quick to make it. Okay, so now we have some very good variations to throw in across this rhythm of our D, A, and G progression. Again, generally what we have, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, slide, up, down. But there are a few more little variations that Dave throws in that are absolutely brilliant. We have the D major chord, sometimes down, up, down, up, down, up. But it's there. Occasionally he throws in a little triplet strum. Something like this. So what you're throwing in there after the down, down, up, down, you're going down, up, down. But on that last downstroke there on the triplet, you're putting the first finger on the second fret D string. By the upstroke next, your third finger goes to the G string, 4th fret. And then finally, one last downstroke in the regular A major position. Real slow now. Down, up, down, up, down. Then, whatever you want over the G major chord. Remember, you have to be very quick going into that slide. To finish up the rhythm. Okay, so if you've mastered this 1-5-4 progression with the open tune-in and all these rhythm variations, congratulations, you're ready to perform. Alright everyone, thanks so much for checking out this lesson on the English Beats Save It for Later. I hope you enjoyed it. I got plenty more lessons coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.